cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real, just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dog. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today, y'all, I wanted to do a segment I've been doing. Like I did it a while ago. I want to start doing it again. Just talk about news stories. And so I do want to talk about. I want to talk about education. I want to talk about I want to compare the airlines to education and the pay. I want to talk about also Michelle, well, not Michelle, but Kamala Harris and Donald Trump for a little bit. And then our last story, I want to talk about Sonya Massey. I did not know anything about this story. I just started hearing about it a few days ago. And so I watched it, and I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys about it, see what you guys thought. So let's go ahead and play the intro. Oh, and make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn your notifications, comment down here, and then comment over here in the chat. Let's play the intro. Let's get into it. Let's go.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
Y'all, and I am back. So I wanted to start off with I seen a post on Twitter today, and it made me just start thinking about a lot of different stuff about how people value things. Because let me put this up. I'm looking on Twitter and I see this post that comes up, and it says, share this tab. Hold on. Did I share it? Hold on, y'all. Why is it not sharing it? Let's do stop sharing. Hold on, y'all, because it's not pulling up my screens. Okay, there it goes. Okay, let me resize it. All right, there we go. So it says American Airlines Union APFA releases new tentative agreement to flight attendants. With the new TA it voted in, American Airlines flight attendants will be the highest paid flight attendants in the industry, which with a top payout of $140 an hour, including boarding pay. I don't know if you guys know what that really means. What's going on, Shauna? I don't know what that really means. Like, flight attendants already get paid like their guarantee, which is like they're guaranteed like 80 hours. Then they get their per diem, which is depending on what airline you could be working at. It could be like from $2 to $3. It's $3. I think it's $2 or $3 per hour. Like, and you get that once the wheels back up from that flight, and however many days you have till the wheels pull back up to your base. So you're getting that out. You're getting that for 24 hours as you go on. And then I just think about like companies like Delta, like they get so well, not even just Delta, like all the benefits they get. And then you come over to like education, it's like they don't want to pay you nothing. And that is so crazy to me. It just really kind of bothered me. If you're watching later on, just drop down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. My mind was just really wandering on that. So I seen this picture on Instagram last night, and it was talking about, I don't know if you guys remember us having to do this at the end of the school year. It says kids today. Oh, I think this is audio on here.
Never know the thrill of seeing who had your textbook the previous year. Because it was like a little code. It was like a little, you know what I mean? Oh shit. Michael had, well, let me call Michael. Hey yo, so how was it? So I mean, like, no, for real. Like, was she serious? Is she serious about her shit? Or it's just like the answer's right there in front of you. It's real. All you gotta do is look at it. Because this is how cheating started. This is how cheating. I'm not one to frown upon cheating in school, okay? Because it takes a village. It takes a village. You know, it's just like college. In college, and in high school, this was cool. But in college, this was needed. Because we didn't have those books to go by in college. You just had the damn, hey, you know I took that last year. Shut up. You still got your syllabus in your notes? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because one thing teachers do, they teach in patterns. Teachers teach certain things they want to hit on very hard. And if you have somebody to kind of give you that cheat code, like, look, she don't play about this. So you lock in with this part, you should be straight. Yeah. People don't listen, man. Listen, everything used to be written down and recorded. Everything. Check out the book, return the book. Mm-hmm. That book, it's time for them to update that book. If you look at it, it's time to update that book. That book is really outdated.
They will still keep on passing that book along.
That's too long of a book. And they almost got the little S thing that we used to draw on the side, that diamond. That's almost the little. Today's kids will never know.
That was funny to me because I realized that we don't even have that now. We don't even have a library at our school. Everything is just online. And this stuff was really fun growing up, like having to do this and finding out who had the book before you. And like, even if it was like one of your siblings were like, oh, I got your book from last year. Or whenever you had the book. And it tells you like, this kind of like the history of the school having to do this. So that was just something funny that I seen for kids that would never get that kind of experience. This one is a public service announcement to everybody who's about to send their kids back to school. Oh, you can hear it. Why can't you hear it? Oh, because it's not up. Hold on. Hold on, y'all.
Dear parents, stop arguing with these teachers when they tell you that your child don't listen and is the problem child in class. That teacher ain't got no reason allowing your child. You know for a fact that child don't listen to you at home. What make you think they're going to go to school and automatically turn their listening ears on? That's not how it works. The child talk back to you at home. The only difference is you can kick their ass. The teacher can't go outside their head. So what I need for you to do is go ahead and turn it up and go upside their head when that teacher let you know what's going on. Don't try to defend them and stick up for them. These kids are bad. And a lot of times it's parents that act out of order in front of their kids and wonder why their kids have this little attitude because they see you doing it. Hell, know thyself. If you know yourself, you will know that you're an asshole. And guess what? You're raising one too. I'm never sticking up for my kids because I know who they are. They're assholes. And I know who I am. I made them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kick ass and take inventory because I ain't got time to play with nobody's child, especially mine.
All right, so that was just a funny little skit that I saw. I thought it was funny. I will encourage y'all, though, if you do have kids and that's going back to school, go to your kid's school and see what your kid got going on because we need more parent participation. I'm just going to throw that out there, and we can move on to Kamala Harris. Okay, so I know that there has been people have been talking about, and again, I'm doing this for people who may not be in politics because I'm not. And so, everything we always hear, like, she put all these people in jail, all these black men in jail. So I've seen this today. I wanted to play it just want to make sure that I am responsible with things that I do share on here, so I want to make sure I share this.
Do you remember when Kamala Harris ran for president in 2019 and people were saying she was behind the incarceration of thousands of Black people for nonviolent weed offenses?
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
Turns out the entire thing is a right-wing lie. First off, where did the thousands number come from? As far as we can tell, and according to the AFP, the number comes from a Washington Free Beacon article that said 1,560 people were jailed in California between 2011 and 2016, so during Harris's tenure as California AG for nonviolent marijuana convictions. That article cited data from the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, or the CDCR. When the AFP contacted CDCR, they found out that this data was for all inmates, not just Black inmates. The CDCR said there was no data that broke these inmates down by ethnicity nor gender. Second, Black males in jail made up roughly the same amount before and after Harris left the AG job. Third, to better understand Harris's views on nonviolent marijuana offenses, we can look at her time as DA in San Francisco. From 2004 to 2010, there were 1,956 marijuana convictions, and just 45 of them resulted in jail time. Not to mention, but she was also a champion of the Biden-Harris admin's pardons for federal weed convictions and the reclassification of weed as a less dangerous substance. I am in no way saying any of this data is particularly glowing for Harris, but at least if you're going to judge her on her true record and her full record. Do you remember when Kamala Harris ran for president in 2019?
So I wanted to make sure I shared that because I know that was something that I didn't know, and the people out there who are watching or who are learning things about what's going on now, make sure you guys check out my video about Project 2025 and Agenda 47. So, drop down in the comments if you knew that already. If you didn't know that, give me a thumbs up. I was really happy for her about this. President Obama and also President Obama and Michelle Obama finally endorsed her.
Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. You're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you. This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michelle, Brock, this means so much to me. I am looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
Kamala.
Hello.
So I thought that was really dope. I think a lot of us were waiting on Obama and Michelle to endorse her. And I love the fact that they did it in the way that they did. It just seemed like President Obama and Michelle Obama. So I thought that was pretty dope. Love this phone. Yes, me too. I love that phone call as well. Just to know like that she really has people that are backing her is just amazing. I want this to notice as well because one of the hardest places for a Democrat to win is Florida. And so this was going on. I can't play the audio. Can't play the audio, but I thought this was dope. This is down in Florida. It says, okay, Florida, it's for the neighborhood talk. So they're out there, all out there for support for Kamala. I'm so happy that people are rallying around her, and I'm glad that she's during fight this battle. What's going on, James? And I want her all the way. There was something going on here Tuesday, which I could go to, but this is our first week of school, so I can't even go. And then also Dr. Wendy from Housewives of not Dr. Wendy, Tatia James, the New York State Attorney General warns volunteers against Donald Trump and projects 2025 as she endorses Kamala Harris for president. He cannot distance himself from something he has attempted to implement. If you guys watched my video I did about Project 2025 and Agenda 47, I showed y'all those clips where they were saying that he endorsed I can't think of the people's names now. Basically, Project 2020 is the group behind it. So I want to play this audio.
Stake right now, and everything is at stake. As the Attorney General of the great state of New York, I and my other colleagues, all Democratic Attorney Generals, have endorsed Kamala Harris for President of these United States. And I think an Attorney General obviously knows, is in the best position to know what a former Attorney General is capable of. And Kamala Harris clearly is capable and is the most qualified individual to run for president. In fact, more qualified than the last 4 presidents. And it's important that individuals recognize that our basic liberties and freedoms right now are being jeopardized. As the Attorney General of the state of New York, I've joined with others to analyze Project 2025. And this is not something which is new to us. This is something which Donald Trump is true to. Why? Because when he was president of these United States, I and other attorney generals, Democratic attorney generals, we had to sue him. In fact, under my leadership, my office sued Donald Trump over 100 times. And the basis of all of that was Project 2025. So he cannot distance himself from something that he has attempted to implement when he was president of these United States. And we were successful 70% of the time. We were the firewall, Democratic attorney generals. And she, Kamala Harris, given her experience, given her background, given someone obviously who was concerned about liberty and freedoms in this country and our democracy as a whole, she is the most qualified candidate to be president of these United States. And it is my singular focus to have her elected as president of these United States, organizing, mobilizing, and educating individuals about all that Donald Trump did to this country, to divide us based on artificial constructs such as race and class and gender. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, I believe because we are in a post-Roe world, that it is up to the women. And that's why individuals obviously need to step up, get people registered to vote, particularly in battleground states, and get out the vote in November.
General James, you
and what is at stake right now.
So that also just to know that he's already been trying to get that Project 2025 in there from the last term. We can't sit around and pretend like Donald Trump didn't know nothing about that Project 2025. And again, he also has a watered down version of Agenda 47 on his website. So be informed, inform your friends, make sure you guys vote, and make sure you go out and tell your friends to vote. Okay. And then this one, this next one is for Dr. Wynn. This is my last one for all right, here we go.
I think if it's being called into question whether or not, Vice President Kamala Harris is qualified, because you mentioned that prior to her pick, President Joe Biden stated that he will pick a woman and he will pick a woman of color, and you feel as though that undermines her qualifications. Well, my question is, what qualifications does Donald Trump have to be the president of the United States? If Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, then if we're being very honest, Donald Trump is a hire of white privilege, because he's not qualified to sit at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. He does not have the qualifications to be the president of the United States. And to be quite honest, Kamala Harris is overqualified to have her position. And so I think that this question of whether or not she should be situated there doesn't make any sense. I'll let you finish.
Okay, Wendy, go ahead.
Wendy herself wasn't having it, okay? She was like, listen, Kamala is overqualified, and that's what it is. All the things that Donald Trump has been accused, it's just too much. So like I said, make sure you guys go out and vote. This next one is of the man himself, or the Tyler himself, I should say. Donald Trump is planning on giving police officers immunity if elected.
Going to give immunity to police so they can do their job. I'm giving federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job. That we're going to give immunity to police so they can do their job. I'm giving federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job. That we're going to give immunity to police. We're going to rebuild our cities. We're going to bring them back like they used to be. We're going to make them safe places again. We're going to give our police their power back, and we're going to give them immunity from prosecution, so they're not prosecuted for doing their job. We'll take over the horribly run capital of our country, Washington, D.C., and clean up, renovate, and rebuild our capital city so that it's no longer a nightmare of murder and crime. We're going to rebuild our cities. We're going to.
This man is sick, and the fact that he's trying to get, give police immunity after what just happened with this girl is crazy to me. It just so happened he says it around the same time. Donald Trump knows what he's doing. And now that they have this whole thing going on with the police officer and that black girl, it's going to be a hard race, guys. So I'm just letting y'all know. All right. So let's move over to Sonya Massey. Okay. Making Good posted this today. And I really like what this cop said about the situation. Let's play it and then let's talk about it.
Hey guys, some of y'all have tagged me and some of you have messaged me for my take on the incident that happened in Springfield, Illinois. And my take is this. Miss Sonya Massey had some things going on. That night it appeared Miss Massey needed help, but instead Miss Massey was murdered. That's my short take on it. Cut and dry. She was murdered by a thug that had a badge and gun and an evil spirit. The longer version is I watched this video. I had to rewatch it to make sure I saw what I thought I saw the first time. And it really bothered me, as I know it bothered you if you've seen it. I fast forwarded to the part right before he shot, put my ear to the phone, closed my eyes. For some reason, I think I can hear better when I do that, to make sure I heard the back and forth like I thought I did. Let's rewind. First off, the guy that shot her was already a little ticked over asking her for her license, and she couldn't find it. First off, he didn't have to give him her license. She was in her home. In her home. There was no reason for her to give him her license. Fast forward, pot of water. His partner is the one that told her to go around there and get it. He's standing pretty close. Situational awareness. He backs up and moves off to the side, kind of chuckling about it. He didn't fear her, but he wasn't taking any chances at all. Completely understandable. She asked, "Where are you going?" He says, "Away from your hot, steaming water." Then she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." But she's not talking to that guy. She's looking at the guy that ends up shooting her. He says, "Huh?" She says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." This sets him off. I rewatched it. I listened. I rewatched it over and over. She is not trying to close the gap on him. She is not drawing back to throw the hot water on him. He goes off at being rebuked. I believe this wholeheartedly. Y'all can make fun of me if you want to. I believe this. What does he say? "You better effing not, or I swear to God, I will shoot you in the effing face." At which point, she's scared to death. Pot goes on the counter. Nothing in her hand. She cowers down, understandably. He saw her put the pot down. He keeps saying, "Drop the pot, drop the pot, drop the pot." She starts peeking back up. What does he do? Still nothing in her hands. Pot still on the counter. He follows through what he told her he was going to do. He shot her in the effing face. Murdered her. During the aftermath does not administer aid, discourages his partner from administering aid, says on the radio, yeah, she's still breathing, but she's losing a lot of blood. No remorse, nothing. This guy should have never been in law enforcement, and he deserves to be in prison for the rest of his life. Law enforcement failed Miss Massey that night. She needed help, but she got murdered instead. That's my take, guys. God bless.
Now, I don't know if you guys have heard this story, but I'm gonna just tell people who haven't heard it. What's going on, Miss Wilson? I'm gonna tell them from what I seen this morning, because again, I didn't really know a lot about it until Pretty V got into it with people online because she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And people, I just thought it was too soon for her to be saying it. But I'm like, yo, do realize we say this every day in our everyday life. But anyway, so this girl, Sonya, she calls the police department because she hears like a disturbance outside of her home. And they come, they check in around the house or whatever, I guess, and then they finally go to the door. She asks who it is, and then she they tell her who the people that she called, and she opens up the door. They talk to her, basically asking if she okay. No, they asked what she called for. Asked what she called for. She didn't respond like twice, and for me, I didn't know if she was like scared or if like she may have like some type of disability or something. I didn't know, so I'm just watching the whole thing. So she finally says, "I called because I heard something outside of my house." So they talked to her about, they looked around the house, whatever. They were asking about her car in the driveway. And then she said she didn't know whose car it was. They asked her like a few times whose car it was in the driveway. She said she didn't know whose car that it was in the driveway. So they ended up taking her into the house, but I think they asked her what her name was. And she kind of stuttered a little bit. And then she told them her last name. She told them her name. They walk her in the house because I feel like they didn't know what was going on with her. And to me, I would have been a little concerned, like if I was, being a real human being, because she seemed disheveled, like maybe the person who was around her house may have like did something. You didn't know if she was nervous of the cops. You didn't really know like a lot about anything. So they asked her for what her name was. Oh no, she asked for something else inside out. They asked her what her name was when she got in the house. When she sat on the couch and she's looking through her purse. She says she can't, because they asked what her name was and she stuttered a little bit. She said Massey. Then they asked her to see ID because they said those would be faster for some reason. And so she starts fumbling around her purse. She grabs like this little tote bag, starts digging in that. And so the cop that ends up, pounding her, he was like, let's do one thing at a time. And he asked her for the ID because I guess she looked for some paperwork to show that she lived in the house, but she couldn't find the paperwork or the ID. So then he's like, let's do one thing at a time. So let me get your ID. She can't find her ID. So all of a sudden, this pot of water starts to bother him. And he's like, you can go turn the pot of water off so you can burn your house down. And so she gets up and she does it. And he says something to her. She says, what did he say to her? And while he was talking to her, someone she was pouring the water out to me. But he said something to her. And she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I forgot what he said to her. And he said, what did you say? She said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna stop. She drops the pot, falls to the ground. And then he keeps saying, drop the pot. Well, ends up in her life. And it does it in the face. And it was just so sad to watch that. And I'm just sitting around like, one, why is this story not everywhere? Because it's like, that should be like some of the ads I'll be seeing when I'm watching the crime stories on YouTube and stuff, or the commercials are like the news on the blogs or something, but I haven't really seen a lot about it. So I was just coming to you guys to talk to you guys about it because I'm like, have y'all heard anything about this? So then later on this afternoon, I'm on Instagram, and I'm like, I know you lying. Hold on. Yeah. So I see this video. It says, letter to the editor. Does anyone care about Sean Grayson? Sean Grayson is the guy who ended Sonya's life. So about Sean Grayson's family or what horrifying reality they are dealing with. Let's listen to this.
The man who unalived Sonya Massey inside of her home on July 6th, his grandmother-in-law to be, Brenda Butterfield, the mother of Deputy Scott Butterfield and the grandmother of Sean Grayson's fiance, has written an article for the Muddy River News. And it is easily the most disgusting and infuriating thing I have ever read in my whole life. And I'm going to read it to you guys now. So Brenda Butterfield is apparently not very happy that the Muddy River News and pretty much every other news outlet in the Midwest is covering the situation between Sonya Massey and Sean P. Grayson and the egregious actions that Sean P. Grayson took that resulted in Sonya's life no longer existing. Keeping in mind that Scott Butterfield is the only reason why Sean P. Grayson got that job in the first place. He had already been passed over by Springfield PD. He had already worked at 6 different departments in 4 years. And this is the mother of the deputy responsible for getting Sean P. Grayson in a badge, has to say. So it's titled, Letter to the Editor. Does anyone care about Sean Grayson's family or what horrifying reality they are dealing with? Okay, I'm going to try to read through this in a calm, cool, collected manner because when I read through it the first time, I had to stop myself from throwing my phone. First, to the protesters. What are you protesting? Sean is in jail, charges are filed, trial date to be set, and punishment to be applied. Sean is not going anywhere, so please knock off wearing out your sweat glands. So please take your signs and go home and just be humans, not the amusement or disgust to the public. Point number 2. Does anyone care about Sean's family or what horrifying reality they're dealing with? What about his fiance he was to marry in October? She is an innocent young woman who is also unfairly being persecuted. Does anyone care about the destruction of her life? He is left to deal with an emotional passing. What are you talking about? Sean's future in-law families, a to-be father-in-law who is as close to Sean as a father as can be. Okay, Brenda. A future mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and brother-in-law who is Sean's friend. Future grandparents who love Sean dearly and still do. Shock, disbelief, and reality, but an undying support for Sean. The past cannot be relived. The future is unknown. We only have each day to pray without ceasing. The Sean everyone desires to hate and to persecute is not the Sean we have all known and loved. We will always support Sean. Judge not, lest ye be judged. No man or woman is without sin. There is a final judgment for all. Signed, proud grandmother-to-be of Sean Grayson. And please keep in mind, that woman decided to publish that article 20 days after Sonya Massey has passed away. 20 days. And it's literally just been a couple days since the body cam footage has been released and people now know the truth of what happened to Sonya Massey. And this is what you want to say? You want us to have sympathy for the man who took her life and his family? Oh, brother. Brenda, that was actually insane. Sean Grayson, the man.
That was actually insane, seriously. It's just the audacity for me that they even feel comfortable to reach out to any kind of publication for sympathy for that man, because to me, this is my thing. This could have all been avoided. There's 2 cops, there's 1 black lady there. The pot is bothering y'all. Why don't one of the damn cops go and turn it and pour it out? If it was that big of a deal, but y'all sent her over there to actually, basically to take her away, because it doesn't make sense if it was bothering you. Your partner's in the apartment. So why didn't you just have him go and do it while she looked for her ID? She said whatever, but the reason why she said she played the blood of Jesus against him, listen, I don't know what she's seen or what happened, because why wasn't his camera even on? And she wasn't even talking to the officer who did nothing to her. The one that wasn't even close enough was the one that did the pow. It just seemed like common sense for my partner to go get the pot of water off the stove and pour it out. I mean, what's she gonna do? Fight him over it? She would look like she was frantic to me. I just want y'all to know that if Donald Trump gets in office, y'all heard what he just said. He's trying to make it so that the cops can't go to jail if they do anything. Right after this happened. He's showing you who he is, and I just want to talk about this stuff because people are not talking about it. They're not even giving it like clear forms, and I like the fact like go through all of the stuff that's happening in the clips that I can see. That way y'all can see them. Seriously. Make y'all support y'all's educators. All right. Well, y'all, that's all I have. I just wanted to go through those few things with you guys. I'm gonna get up out of here so that I can get up and go to work in the morning. And I will see you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. But comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.
Did it, I 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 did it, did it, you did it, I did it, you did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it.